Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining this session. My name is Adrian Cooper. I'm the Field CTO for the UK Public Sector team at NetApp. And in this session, we're just going to talk a little bit about the NetApp SaaS Backup capability, functionality it provides for both Office 365 and Salesforce platforms. And hopefully you might well have seen the earlier session when I talked about some of the threats that exist now around data and the need to protect data on really across all platforms where it's being deployed. And due to the significant value of data now, that threat is becoming more acute and more understood. In fact, just today there were headlines around an increased threat of ransomware, for example, for education establishments associated with students going back to study in the new academic year. And we've seen very high profile cyber attacks on commercial organizations, which resulted in the loss of data as well. But it's not only that external threat, just things like end user behavior, system administrators, perhaps doing something and by mistake can result in the loss of data. And what we're going to talk about very briefly is how the NetApp tools enable the sort of efficient backup, but more importantly, recovery of data. And I think colleagues of mine often say it's the recovery of that data that matters more, and the time pressures associated with getting that data restored often make a big impact on the business. So just by way of a quick summary then, we provide a managed SaaS backup service that is deployed in its own right as a SaaS service that can be consumed very easily. That can be deployed to backup Microsoft Office 365 and Salesforce environments. We see these as the two most prevalent SaaS platforms in the market at the present time. And really, the tool is designed to provide you with the ability to protect and secure sensitive data, to enable business continuity, and doing so in a way that sort of simplifies your administration. The context of that is that the tool is designed to be very, very simple and efficient to use. We believe that it's incumbent on us to provide a tool set which is easy to use, which does not require significant investment in either infrastructure or time and effort to understand and deploy, but is inherently flexible and complete in the sort of capabilities that it provides. And importantly, this provides you with an additional layer of backup and recovery capabilities above and beyond that which is provided within the native services. And indeed, Microsoft and Salesforce both say within their sort of standard T's and C's that the data is actually the responsibility of the consuming customer, the end user customer, if you like, and therefore this tool is designed to provide you as a customer with the capability of providing that data assurance. In both cases, the tool can be deployed across a complete organization or to selected users and/or functions within the respective software suites. And it is consumed, as I said earlier, on a subscription basis. So that could be for a short-term period or a longer-term period as the needs of your business dictates. You also have the ability to specify things like the retention period and the level of functionality that you wish to provide with different tiers of service that's available to you on the platform. An example of those are here. You can see that we have 3 different tiers available with different frequency of backup and with potentially different data retention periods. The service in the form which it's delivered either allows you to use storage which is managed by us as the service provider on your behalf, or should you wish, you can configure the service to use storage that you own and manage, or is part of your cloud subscription, for example, or part of a solution that you use for other purposes of backup and compliance. So that's a choice that you can make at the point which the service is provisioned. So with regards to specific functionality for Microsoft Office 365, as you can see here, we can back up both SharePoint, Groups, Teams, and OneDrive. That is important because we are also consumers of Microsoft Office 365 ourselves, and therefore we know that the capability to utilize these functions within Office is important to us, and therefore recognizably important to our customers. We give you the capability to restore an entire mailbox or an entire Teams site, for example, a SharePoint site, as well as the ability to restore individual mail items, individual files, sites, subsites, etc., depending on the service that's being deployed in terms of Office. And this is designed to be very, very easy to use, sort of single-click restore, as well as the ability to do logging and history, etc., as you would expect. I think it's important to stress at this point in time that as NetApp, we have been providing data protection capabilities for Microsoft and with Microsoft for many years. Many of our customers have deployed or were deploying sort of SharePoint on premises on our platform, and a lot of the tool set here has been adapted from that sort of traditional on-premises environment. So there's a lot of significant experience within NetApp that we can bring to bear on how best to deploy these tools and how to provide these capabilities for customers in the easiest possible way for them to consume. For the Salesforce environment, this allows you to provide not only a sort of complete backup of your environment, but also all of the relationships that exist between the different databases and functionality across the Salesforce platform, and also for both production, pre-prod, and development environments, to effectively back up all of the objects which are embedded and attached to records within the CRM system. And then to be able to restore that either with the ability to overwrite data or without, and that will be various depending on an organization's restore policy, and also to be able to restore items and return that hierarchy that we talked about back to a consistent state. There's also the ability to do a point-in-time comparison between data in the live system and in the backup, and to be able to compare that across a date range of up to 30 days. Clearly, the privacy and security that we employ within this platform is important. We talked about the importance and relevance of that in the context of the data you hold in Office and in Salesforce. And obviously, we take the same care and attention and security protocols to ensure that any data that is backed up using our tool is secure. We utilize encryption, intrusion detection, access control, and we are certified with various ISO standards. And as an organization, I suppose, data governance, data control, sensitivity of our customer data has been in the DNA of NetApp for many years, and that is something that for any customers that are considering deploying this type of tool, we'd be very happy to talk in more detail about the controls that we have in place to make sure that there is no threat of unauthorized access to data or inherent security risks associated with this platform. And talking of which, this platform is something now that's had a degree of maturity in the market. It's undergoing continued development alongside the feature set that Microsoft and Salesforce respectively are adding to their platforms. We have a global customer reach and some significant organizations both in the UK, Europe and wider who are using this platform. And I think what we're seeing is, we're seeing a growing recognition amongst organizations of the need to make sure that data in these SaaS platforms is backed up and able to be restored correctly and efficiently. And therefore, we only see a likely increase in the utilization of this type of technology going forward. So just by way of a summary then, the key aspects of the service, just to for me to highlight really, is that NetApp, proud record in the industry as a storage and data management expert. We've brought to bear all of that expertise to deliver a solution for our customers, which is cloud ready, deployed cloud natively, and can utilize cloud object storage as a repository for those backup tasks. It's a service delivered on a subscription basis. It's agentless, and we deploy that as a secure multi-tenancy to deliver the economies of scale necessary to make this a very cost-effective service for our customers to use. We're also working with a number of service providers in the UK market and wider, who are offering this as their own sort of managed service to complement services, additional services they may be providing out in the market. So you can find this both delivered natively by NetApp and through our service provider partners. We provide you with a choice of backup targets and also the choice of being able to back up to your own storage tenant. And we believe we have amongst the most complete solution on the market in terms of the capabilities that we have on the respective platform, especially the support for Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, and also the support for Salesforce CRM data, as we've already highlighted. So that is a bit of a whistle-stop tour. The idea is to keep these sessions short and sweet. So hopefully that gives you enough information to be able to position the solution in your mind. Should you have any further questions, please use the SNS platform to ask questions. Attend a follow-up session. I think we're going to have follow-up sessions on each of the topics that we're recording as part of this series. So please subscribe and join those sessions as advertised. Of course, alternatively, you can request a sort of follow-up call, and experts from NetApp will be on hand to support colleagues at SNS to give you a fuller briefing of the capabilities of the platform. And there's also a link on the presentation which will be provided, which will allow you to spin up a 30-day trial of the tool so that you can actually see it and use it yourself and look at the capabilities as they apply to your own environment. So thank you for attending. I hope that was useful, and please join other sessions as you receive it. Thank you.